Dear students, welcome for the lecture series on tourism. In previous episodes, we discussed about catering operations and different methods of cooking. In that context, today let us focus our discussion on the topic spices. India has been famous for spices and condiments since prehistoric times. There have been references to spices in Vedas. Even before the Christian era, traders and explorers from various parts of the world came to India to exchange their valuable merchandise for Indian spices. This has led India to secure the title as a land of spice. In this module, let us study the following aspects: classification and uses of spices, major spices of India, composition, flavoring extracts and adulteration of spices, role of spices in Indian economy and role of spices in world tourism. First, begin with classification and uses of spices. Spices can be classified in different ways, such as according to their botanical families, economic importance, method of cultivation or part of component of the plant, such as seeds, leaves, bark, etc. Each system of classification has its own merits and demerits. Classification based on the origin and active components present in the spices. In that, first we have pungent spices. Examples are pepper, ginger, chilies and mustard. Next one is aromatic spices. For that we have cardamom, nutmeg and mace, fenugreek, anise, fennel, cumin, coriander, cinnamon and cassia. Next type is phenolic spices containing eugenol. For that, clove and allspice. Next type is colored spices. For that, examples are paprika, saffron and turmeric. Classification based on part of plant. In that, first we have fruits. For fruits, examples are cardamom, chilies and pepper. Next plant part is seeds. For that, anise seeds, caraway, celery, coriander seeds, fenugreek, mustard and nutmeg are examples. Next is flower. For that we have cloves and saffron. Next, bark. In that we have cinnamon. For root we have ginger and turmeric. Each of the spice and condiments mentioned has characteristic flavor and taste which is attributed to the presence of certain chemical substances referred as active components. For example, pungency in chilies and pepper is due to compounds capsaicin and piperine respectively. These substances causes sharp biting or burning sensation. Curcumin in turmeric, carotene and quercetin in saffron are the substances that contribute to the characteristic color. Hence, every spice is known for the specific flavor, characteristic taste as well as color. Selection of the spice in cooking depends on the type of preparation, color and flavor required. All over the world, spices are widely used in cooking, but in few of the countries, cooking is highly dependent on spices. India is one of those where spices are obligatory item in cooking. Various curries, chutney, pickles, meat processing is done using combination of spices. The advantage of spices in cooking is the novelty it creates with changing flavor, taste and color with change in spice combination. A good cook makes a magic spell through combining spice and food ingredients intelligently in preparing attractive and mouth-watering dishes. Let's have a look on major spices of India. India is the largest producer, consumer and exporter of spices in the world. A variety of spices are grown. Depending on their production, spices have been referred as major and minor spices. Major spices are black pepper, cardamom, chili, coriander, cumin, garlic, ginger and turmeric. Minor spices are cinnamon and clove. Production of spices. Internationally, there are about 70 plant species that have been grown for spices, the majority of which are grown in India. Types of spices grown in different parts of India vary depending on the weather conditions. For example, black pepper is produced in Kerala, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, while major cardamom growing states are Karnataka, Kerala, Sikkim and Tamil Nadu. Turmeric is mostly confined to Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. Likewise, Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, Orissa and Tamil Nadu are the major chili growing states. Chili grown in Bihar is considered to be the most pungent variety. Ginger is mainly produced in Kerala and Meghalaya. Andhra Pradesh and Rajasthan are the major producers of the coriander. The important minor spices grown in India are ajovan, aniseed, caraway, coriander, cumin, dill seeds, fennel, fenugreek, garlic, onion, saffron and vanilla. The major spices of India, that is pepper, cardamom, ginger, turmeric and chilies, are exported in larger quantities. Out of the quantities of spices exported, pepper ranks first with 41%, followed by cardamom with 22.7%, turmeric with 8%, ginger with 3.6% and chilies with 5.3%. Export of minor spices accounts only for 15.4%. Major spices, in that we have black pepper. Often referred to as the king of spices, black pepper or kali mirchi is one of the oldest and the most widely used spices in the world. It is the whole dried fruit of a perennial climbing vine cultivated as plantation, Piper nigrum Linn, a native of southern India and grown commercially in South and Southeast Asia as well as Brazil and Madagascar. There are 24 different types of black pepper grown in our country. The pepper creeper produces two types of branches, vegetative, that is climbing, and reproductive, that is fruiting. The fruits are borne in a cluster called spike of 20 to 30 cm in length. Each fruit called drupe is globose in shape and 5 mm in size. It has a pungent taste that is used in flavoring food. A number of pepper products have been derived such as white pepper, ground pepper, green pepper and pepper oil and pepper oleoresin. Next is cardamom. Cardamom are the dried fruit of Eleutheria cardamom. It belongs to ginger family Zingiberaceae. It is the most common variety. However, there are two distinct varieties of cardamom based on the size. They are Eleutheria cardamom var major and Eleutheria cardamom var minor. Cardamom constitutes the second most important spice of India and is known as the queen of spices. India is the major cardamom producing country in the world. Till recently, India was the biggest exporter of cardamom, accounting for about 90 to 95% of the world's export. Cardamom is one of the most expensive spices used mainly for flavoring curries, cakes, bread, confectioneries, beverages and medicines. 90% of world trade of cardamom is in whole form, although there is increasing demand for ground and encapsulated spices, spice oil and oleoresins. Ginger. Ginger is the fresh or dried underground stem or rhizome of the Zingiberus herbaceous plant. It was cultivated in ancient China and India. This spice was first imported into Europe. In cultivation, ginger normally grows as an annual on raised beds and does not set seeds. Its propagation is done by vegetative means from small pieces of rhizomes. Fresh ginger is used as whole in pickle as well as ground forms, while mature rhizomes are dried and used as powder. India is the largest exporter of dry ginger. Of this, Kerala contributes nearly 70%. Next is chilies. Chilies, lal mirchi, red pepper or dry chilies are the pungent fruits of certain species of the genus Capsicum. It is especially used for its pungency spicy taste besides its appealing color. It is native of Brazil and South America and was introduced to India by the Portuguese only about 400 to 500 years ago. As its pungent taste was liked by most in the tropics and the plantation was adaptive to tropical climate, it spread all over tropical Asia soon after its introduction in the early 16th century. Two species of capsicum are grown, namely Capsicum annuum and Capsicum frutescens, whose active compound responsible for hot taste is capsaicin. Chilies are grown all over India and is the largest producer. It is known as the universal spice of India. Chilies are cultivated in an area of about 9,56,000 hectares, producing 9,45,000 tons. Nevertheless, only about 2 to 3% of our production is exported. Next spice is turmeric. Turmeric or haldi is a native of tropical Asia. Turmeric, that is Curcuma domestica, is a perennial herb of the ginger family and so is a rhizome. There are about 70 species of turmeric, of which 30 species occur in India. Of these, several are wild species. The plant is propagated by dividing suckers and by planting small pieces of round orange rhizome. The rhizomes usually mature within 8 to 10 months after planting. After harvesting, the rhizomes are boiled, cleaned and dried in the sun, then polished to remove the external surface layer before marketing. In the processing, turmeric rhizomes lose 70% of their original weight. Turmeric is used in powder form as spice. Turmeric used in adding unique flavor and color to oriental curries and various other dishes. Turmeric was also used as a natural colorant, the bright yellow powder of the ground rhizomes being one of the earliest known vegetable dyes. The yellow color is contributed by a pigment called curcumin. This ranks third in the list of major export spice from India. Now, let us study the nutrition composition, flavoring extracts and adulteration of spices. Nutrition composition. Spices are the plant products and form the part of plants such as roots, buds, flowers, fruits, barks or seeds. Apart from the specific chemical compounds that contribute to their characteristic flavor or taste or color, spices are rich sources of certain nutrients. In general, spices contain protein, carbohydrates, fat and minerals. The root, seeds, stem and bulb spices are rich source of calories. Example are poppy seeds, mustard, fenugreek, nutmeg have higher quantities of oil, hence are calorie dense spices. Some spices like onion, fenugreek and ginger contain higher quantities of carbohydrates. Fiber content of spices is high. They are very rich in minerals, trace elements, essential oils and phytochemicals. Since the quantity used is small, the absolute contribution of nutrients to the meal is very limited. Flavor and color of the spices is invariably attributed to the presence of range of chemical substances which are broadly referred as phytochemicals and the volatile oil. The flavoring compounds are resins present in small quantities, generally referred as oleoresins. However, no single compound is responsible for flavors. A blend of different components such as alcohol, phenols, esters, terpenes, organic acids, resins, alkaloids and sulfur containing compounds contribute to the flavor. Coming to flavoring extracts. Spices, being agricultural commodities, are prone to spoilage by insect or microbial attack. Hence, the spice oils or oleoresins which contain all the active principles of spices are extracted and marked. Spice oils are obtained by the solvent extraction of ground spices or more advantageously the steam distilled spice. The spice oils contain the aromatic principles while the oleoresins contain both the aromatic and pungent principles. Various solvents like acetone, theopropanol, methanol, hexane are used as solvents. According to ISI standards, oleoresins obtained from solvent extraction should not contain more than a specified amount of solvent. They have to be free from contamination, have better storage life and are easy to transport. Technology has developed in India to prepare ready to use oleoresins from spices. Next is adulteration. Spices are costly ingredients and the most valued products. Because of their greater demand and high price, there is a heightened risk for gross adulteration. According to the Prevention of Food Adulteration Act 1976, adulteration means any particles of food whose quality or purity falls below the prescribed standards. Spices are generally adulterated with less expensive materials. Example, bark from wild tree is added to cassia or cinnamon. Dry papaya seed is used for pepper. Cow dung and sawdust is added in curry powder, garam masala and chili powder. Artificial color is added to give the spice color such as the menthol yellow to give turmeric color. Spices are highly prone for fungal contamination and pest attack. Hence, addition of damaged and spoiled spice is also considered as adulteration. Therefore, ISI has laid general standards for all spices to consider the spice fit to be marketed and exported. Next, coming to role of spices in Indian economy. Introduction of foreign spices in addition to the spices that are native to India has a long-standing history. Indian soil and climate are suitable for cultivating of a variety of spices like the majestic black pepper, elusive cardamom, refreshing ginger, colorful turmeric, fiery chili and a host of other spices like cumin, coriander, fennel, fenugreek, garlic, cassia, aniseed, nutmeg, mace and saffron. A few of other spices have been drawn to Indian shores by traders from other lands. Indian spices contribute tremendously to the Indian economy. Spice trade, both domestic and cross-country, bring in substantial earnings and create attractive foreign exchange. As Indian spices are of the finest quality, the demand for them has considerably increased in consuming countries. Spices contributes to Indian economy in many ways. Primarily, India is the largest producer and exporter of spices in the world. Besides the whole and ground spice, essential oils and oleoresins of spices has attracted major market. Indian spice industry successfully developed indigenous technology for spice distillation to obtain export quality essential oils. This was an important breakthrough in spice product and trade at international market. With further advancement in technology, now India has captured major chunk of global market for the flavor and oleoresin. India is considered to be the major producer and exporter of spices. The international market strictly adopts quality parameters for exporters. Hence, care should be exercised to maintain the quality of all the spice and spice product produced in our country. Realizing the importance of spice industry and its export prospects, Spice Board was set up in 1968 to support the industry and protect the interest of the growers. The major objective with which it works is to increase the market share of Indian spice in the world market. Hence, it mainly focuses on the export-oriented production by bringing northeastern areas under pepper, cardamom and herbal spice production, popularizing integrated pest management in major spice production, encourage organic spice production and certification to broaden the spice export, improve post-harvest practices, provide support in every aspect for production for better gains. Next, coming to role of spices in world tourism. The world is experiencing social transition. This confronts total diversification in lifestyle and attitudes of people. This includes food diversification, the desire for new flavors, increasing importance of ethnic food and an increasing importance of processed food, which requires condiments and aromatic herbs for its preparation. Hence, these drive an increased demand on eateries requiring spices, herbs and condiments for their preparation. India is known for its diverse culture and cuisine. Every culture has the treasure of its unique taste, flavor and style to serve the food. The increasing privilege for cultural exchange, travel and the interest to try new food has led Indian foods to reach the world's platform. Now, Indian cuisine is most liked and in demand all over the world. It is known for the spices used in wide combination. Hence, India offers great attraction for tourism because of the spices it produces and the varied products that are made available because of the technological advancement as well as the wide taste teaser and mouth-watering preparations. Greater range of international and ethnic dishes has been stimulated in recent years by extensive foreign travel, the establishment of a diverse range of ethnic restaurants and the effects of immigration on food markets and supply chains. The food industry has been very active in promoting an interest in exotic foods as a promising growth sector. Spices are used in different ways as against what we think of spices primarily as condiments to use in cooking. This has not always been the case. In ancient times, they were treated as basic ingredients of incense, preservatives, ointments, perfumes, antidotes against poisons, cosmetics, and medicines, while they were used only to a limited extent in the kitchen. With the passage of time, the uses for spices have steadily increased. They have become indispensable in the culinary art, adding savour to insipid dishes, tang to beverages, and zest to appetizers. Numerous new dishes have been made possible because of aromatic and pungent spices. In the food manufacturing industry, the spice occupy an important place. In modern time, the industry has made available to the public a great variety of cooked and semi-cooked food, pickle, sauces, relishes, dressings, conserves and confections, from soups to candies, which depend on spices for flavor. Among the flavoring extracts, there are many made from the essential oils of the spices, including anise, basil, cassia, cinnamon, celery, cloves, ginger, nutmeg, mint, marjoram and thyme. Science and technology strongly dwell on stimulating the traditional knowledge of cooking and preservation. Applying spices and condiments for health care and to enhance beauty through natural product is a value addition to the use of spices. The kitchen-based spices are being increasingly identified as the first-hand remedy for simple ailments. Ayurvedic medicine has also gained momentum as the alternative treatment since they are mostly based on the plant products, spices and condiments. India has an additional boon for the tourist attraction. Advertising and media promotion by means of television cooking programs, radio and magazines have contributed to create the demand in a big way. Advertisements by the ethnic groups about the shops dedicated to their national foods as well as supermarkets selling authentic ethnic products while are quick and easy to prepare. These developments have stimulated a wider range of food choice in home cooking and created an increased demand for herbs and spices at international level. Finally, we can conclude the session by saying that spices play a major role in food preparation and India is famous for growing spices and condiments since from the ancient times, where spices and condiments were shipped to other countries and hence thereby those shipping routes got famous as spice routes. In addition to adding flavor, taste, color and texture to the food, spices also contribute to country's economy. So students, hope you people learned something about spices. Thank you so much for watching this episode. Hope we will meet in the future episode. Till then, take care. Thank you.